What time is it? I don't know. It's like 8:30. It's late. It's time for bed. I'm tired. You're tired. We're tired. Seem like every time we do this, we're tired. So, but anyway, it's Meet the Trainers, y'all. What's up? And for once, Ak and I are actually not the last people doing Meet the Trainers. We usually are, just because there's so much else to do. But I finally managed to pin Ak down because he's so busy and it's so hard to
Yeah,
get on
okay.
his schedule.
Yeah, okay.
He's just a superstar. No, in
Yeah,
all
but
seriousness, Ak and I have been teaching together for several years now. He is one of my favorite people and the only person that I would ever teach instructor level courses with. We are here representing CSA, and yeah, now I'm no longer the host of Meet the Trainers. I'm the interviewee. We don't have an interviewer, so we'll just interview ourselves. So I get to introduce myself, and I'm Tiff. Hey y'all, what's up? For those I haven't met, my name is Tiffany Johnson. I live in Memphis, Tennessee. I have a somewhat atypical background in firearms because I am a convert. If you don't know my story, because I'm sure some people get sick of hearing this story because I end up telling it a lot. So I apologize if you've heard this story a billion times. But the short version is I was afraid of guns. I was not a lifelong gun person like many people at TACCON are. And I was in my early 20s before I ever laid hands on a gun. I had seen many guns before that, but never in positive, constructive, good, pro social circumstances. And so every association that I made with guns was negative. So I signed up for this gun class hoping to kind of assuage my fears a little bit, but also hoping to get a little more articulate about why guns were bad. And I was just very lucky to randomly walk into Rangemaster and meet Tom Givens. I had no idea how lucky I was at the time, but he's been a father figure to me ever since. And here we are almost 25 years later. And I've taken every class that Tom offers, and I've trained with a lot of other people that operate in Tom's circles. And it's through Rangemaster that I met Akil and that I first became acquainted with CSA, or Citizen Safety Academy. So I went and trained with him and I said, please, please, please let me join your cadre. I want to learn how to do what you do. And after much begging and pleading, finally he said, all right, if you leave me alone, I'll let you join the cadre. But it was a begrudging agreement. And here we are. I've been following him around like a lost puppy ever since.
that's a shame. Shame, darn shame.
So that's me. Ak, tell us who you are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Akil Kadir, better known as Ak, um, lead instructor over here at Citizen Safety Academy, and grew up in an atypical environment in that I was raised in a gun family and pretty much a politically non-permissive environment, born and raised in Buffalo, New York, and in a community that pretty much like to eschew guns as much as they can. But my dad was a little different than everybody else, and I was fortunate in that regard. Um, and so I did the law enforcement thing for a while and taught in those arenas, and then moved down south to America. And since I've been down here, we opened up Citizen Safety Academy in the sunny climes of Middle Tennessee. And we didn't really know what we were doing until Tiff Johnson came into our lives and showed us the way, the truth, and the light. And since then, we had and since then, we've
Much
actually been
BS.
doing this thing, doing this thing the right way for the last few years, and it's been wonderful.
Wow.
The truth is, I begged her to be a part of the team here, and since she's been a part of the team at Citizen Safety Academy, we've actually been doing things correctly. And one of those things that we've been doing is developing an assistant instructors program.
That's
And so
right.
we do a lot of instructor development here at Citizen Safety Academy. And one day I was helping Tiff as she was assistant instructor Tom Givens. And this is my second or third time doing it, and then I realized how the first two times I had been doing it all wrong. So now that Tiff was on board and showing me how to really do it, I talked to her after the class and I said, hey, we need to actually teach other people how to do this assistant instructor thing correctly because you've got the secret sauce and we need to share it with the world. And so that's where this thing grew out of, and it's been wonderful ever since. And we are actually putting those things into practice, and our cadre here is like a smooth, well-oiled machine, um, which I find makes the job of being lead instructor so much simpler, so much better, and it's a much better product for our students. And so, Tiff, please tell us how you came up with the perfect assistant instructor program.
Oh, wow. So much BS to unpack there. So much. But yeah, we are reviving our AI block at TACCon. If you're familiar with CSA, you probably know that one of our claims to fame is gateway instruction, which is a concept that I first heard from OK, and it perfectly fits what we do and what our lane and what our passion is. And so the art and craft of gateway instruction, that is honing our instructional design to specifically gear towards people who are new to whatever the subject matter is that we're teaching. Um, that has now infused everything we do. And the more we do this, the more we discover that a lot of the techniques that we thought were unique to newcomers to any skill, they actually work really well even with people who are more experienced at that skill. So we also are bringing our gateway instructional techniques into our AI curriculum. Ak and I have yet to find anywhere else that teaches a specific curriculum for assistant instructors. And that's what we mean when we say AI, not artificial intelligence. Um, and so this new 2026 version is called the AI Wake Up Call, because we really have seen that the AI role kind of ends up being a sort of deer in headlights type of placeholder role where folks are very passive and it's more of a social thing. But we have developed a curriculum where there's structure, there's techniques, there are specific things that AIs must do in order to optimize the overall package for students to make the instructor's job easier, which means the lead instructor is more effective. There's just a lot that goes into it. And Ak and I looked at each other and we're like, most AIs just kind of show up and watch people on the range. And far be it for any AI to ever think they have anything to do in the classroom, right? Og and I are really passionate about dispelling those myths that the AI is just kind of an extra hand there in case the lead needs anything. Quite the contrary. The role of assistant instructor is a very distinct role. It has very specific techniques that go along with it. And if you have ever taken a class where you feel like some of the helpers are just kind of standing around, then you've seen the cancer that we are combating. Likewise, if you are yourself an instructor and you've never taken the time to actually instill any specific techniques in your cadre, then this is the class for you. If you didn't realize there's a difference between AI and lead instructor, then this is the class for you. If you didn't realize there's a difference between co-instructing and AIing, then this is the class for you. If you didn't know there's a difference between being an RSO and being an AI, this is the class
This
for
class for
you.
you.
So if you've had our AI curriculum before, we're working now on revamping it to really re-infuse the curriculum with all of those gateway instructional techniques that you hear us talking about a lot, so that you can then in turn impart those techniques to your students on the range. Or to your fellow, your fellow trainers and trainees, as we all navigate the awesome world of pistol craft and long gun craft and everything else that we do, because the AI techniques really apply to pretty much any learning environment, even if there are no firearms involved. So, Ak, do you have anything to add to that?
No, it's a wonderful program, and I'm a true believer in it. And actually, as I said earlier, we're putting it into practice daily here in Middle Tennessee and abroad and on our traveling classes. And as a matter of fact, we've actually instituted a lot of it into the RSO program at TACCON. So it's actually
Wow.
scalable. So it's a wonderful thing. And if you want to make your classes, if you do any type of instruction, and it could be anywhere from, if you got anywhere from 2 students to 400, it's like TACCON, there should be something in a block like this that you can use. So we put a lot of work into it, and Tiff's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think anybody denies that. So you got to come check it out and see the good stuff that we got to offer, and we'd like to get your feedback on it too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're continually growing the program, expanding it, refining it. So, again, even if you have had our AI curriculum or parts of it before, because we've got several versions of it, anywhere from 2 hours to 6 hours or more. If you've already had it, consider coming and checking us out again. We are working on updates now and help us spread the word. As always, Ak and I are the closers. We are in D Block on Sunday 4 o'clock in classroom one. We hope to see you there. Thank you so much, my friend. And I will see you, I don't know, probably in about 45 minutes or so. I'm sure there's something we got to do.
Something we gotta do, babe. We'll see you soon. Love you.
Always.